Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me in a very quiet and peaceful central London. It is rather rare to see the city streets, particularly here in Mayfair, this quiet overall, but today, as part of my daily exercise, I figured I would go for a walk to visit some of the supercar showrooms, a spot of supercar window shopping, starting right here in Berkeley Square where we have Ferrari, Bentley and even something to see at Bugatti. Then we'll head to visit as well the likes of Aston Martin, Lamborghini, McLaren and the main Ferrari showroom too. There are cars to admire through the windows, even though the shops are closed in line with the government's guidelines to close non-essential businesses and public venues. But let's head for a wander around and see what we can find. I think spotting some cars along the way. Let's come straight over then to take a look here at the HR Owen Ferrari Atelier in Berkeley Square, which opened just short of a year ago. In fact, I came out here to see the new SF90 Stradale last summer, which was parked right here where we now have the Ferrari Roma. This is almost the display showcase for the newer cars. You can see we've got the F8 Tributo over on this side as well. We'll then head around the corner, past the Bentleys, go and check out something quite sneaky over at Bugatti as well. I found a little trick, something cool to show you in a moment. But while we are here then, the F8 Tributo, of course it's a very bright sunny day, but you can just make that out inside the showroom. The F8 Tributo being the follow-up to the 488 GTB and the 458 Italia. A few updates, over 700 horsepower thanks to the 3.9 litre twin turbocharged V8, and of course at the front you've got this S-duct. You can see where the air comes in through the front bumper and can come out over the top of the bonnet, which gives it a bit more downforce on the front axle. I got to drive one at the tail end of last year out in the Middle East, sure to be very successful. And then over this side, and actually something quite fun to show you quickly, if you can see this, on the showroom windows there are handprints at every height, kids heights, adult heights, clearly taking a peek through the windows at the cars they can see behind while going about daily walks and the like. But here of course the Roma, named after the Italian capital, launched in Rome as well. I got to see the car over there at the main launch event. The Roma, almost a new segment for Ferrari, the segment I guess in line with the Portofino. It sits alongside the Portofino and as opposed to replacing it, has the same 3.9 litre twin turbo V8. In this case it makes a total of 620 horsepower. One thing I like about the design of the Roma is at the front, how it kind of undercuts, that grille almost cuts right back to where it goes in above the front splitter, which I think looks really nice, and obviously you could have that in a contrast colour as well. But Ferrari call this a 2+, because there isn't really enough space in the back to fit passengers. It's actually not a hatchback, it has a boot as opposed to the entire rear window that opens up, but gives you a bit more space by having that available area behind. And it was actually the first model Ferrari ever launched that didn't have originally Scuderia shields worn on the front flanks. The first ever car that they had shown that was like that. Anyway, let me go for a quick wander up the road. Of course, plenty of cyclists out and about, delivery drivers, food deliveries, that kind of thing, and the occasional bus that goes past. But here at Jack Barclay Bentley, we have the new flying spur. That's a very nice blue. Well, with the Union Jack worn on the C-pillar as well. We've got a Continental GT just inside. Bentayga, I have seen lots of Bentleys driving around at this time. Bentleys and G63s pretty much on every street corner. As we come on around then, what else do we have? We're heading towards Bugatti that you have just beyond. We've got the Mulsanne, which has had quite a long life, has to be said. We've got another Continental GT, that's a really nice colour. The dark green. Bentleys do suit dark greens, and Bentley makes some really nice paintworks as well. We've got another flying spur in their handover bay just out this side. This is actually a turntable which lowers down, and then inside there's a whole second floor with more cars downstairs in the dealership. It's really cool. And then we get to Bugatti. You might be thinking that we can't see anything, but I've got a little sneaky trick to show you here. The EB logo, Ettore Bugatti. Have a look here inside. If I zoom all the way in towards the back, you can probably spot the Bugatti Veyron that is sitting back there. The pearl white and black dual tone, very nice. Sitting in the back. Sometimes they have a couple of cars there, but not a bad start, hey? Let's go for a walk and see what else we can find then on this little wander around the supercar dealerships here in central London. And we have a new Porsche 718 Cayman Gt4. Very cool, I do like those a lot. New GT4 following up from the 981s that came before. Of course, naturally aspirated flat 6. And there goes a Rolls-Royce Ghost cruising through. Very majestic. We have a Ferrari 488 Pista Spider in fact. Very nice. A Across the road then at Porsche Mayfair, of course, we have a Taycan. We've also got a navy blue 992. Beyond that, 718 Boxer, 718 Cayman. And if we come around this way, we actually have another 718 GT4 sitting just there. You can spot that wing, instantly recognizable. What we've got through the windows, if you can just about make it out here. It's coming a little bit closer. Black GT4. Wouldn't be my first choice of colour, but still looks cool nonetheless. And I guess we've got some Panameras, Cayennes and Macans and the like there. Quite a small showroom. Got a lot of cars to pack in here at Porsche Mayfair, but still impressive nonetheless. That was a Honda NSX. Not sure if you saw it. Those are pretty rare over here. You very, very, very rarely see an NSX. I'm afraid I didn't catch it better. When you turn around, because you hear a grumbly AMG V8. Brilliant blue. Looking nice. That Targa sounds good. A beautiful Aston Martin DBS Superleggera cruising on by, obviously with the 725 horsepower 5.2 litre twin turbo V12. London really is the land of the Rolls Royce. Lots of Rolls Royces cruising around. We come then to Aston Martin here on Park Lane. In fact, the dealership from where I bought my GT8. I can hear some grumbling. We have a C63. Yes, old generation C63. And an A45. German reg. Nice. Cool, A45S. Anyway, where was I? In here. We've got a DB11 Volante. We've got, what else do we have? Part C, DB11. We're gonna have any DBSs? Oh, we've got the Vantage. Is that the Vantage AMR? Vantage, yeah, potentially. Oh yeah, with the wing on the back. Come around to the other side, kind of double part showroom. Yeah, the streams of buses. Another Vantage with the louvres on the bonnet. DBS Volante, beautiful. DBS Volante, that could be one of the picks of the day. That is a very nice car indeed. And another DB11. See around the back of the DBS from just here. Very nice car. It's actually got quite busy all of a sudden with everything that's going on at the moment, but lots and lots of cyclists out and about on the roads, unsurprisingly. We're going about exercise today. G63's in action as always. Quick stop just up the road then at Bob Forstner, who are the Brabus dealership here. So inside we have a Brabus G-Wagon. In fact, there are quite a few G-Wagons at the back, plus some classics. There's an old Porsche at the back, the Mercedes here. I think there's also maybe a DB5 or something if I come around the corner. DB5, DB6, something like that, just tucked in behind. And we've got a C63 from Brabus with the engine upgraded to a mere 650 horsepower. Brabus always doing magical things to the various different Mercedes AMG cars that they work on. You know what I've been saying about loads of Bentleys? Well, check that out. Continental GT convertible in the bright yellow. That's a bold colour for that kind of car, but I do kind of like it. This is quite a cool spot, the Aston Martin Rapide AMR. They only made 210 of them, the more hardcore Aston Martin racing inspired version of the four-door saloon. Of course, the V12 in this is a little bit more powerful, about 35 horsepower more. The car does look pretty cool, though, it has to be said. Twin exhaust tips on either side, of course, a bit more of the ducktail spoiler at the back, and with the livery, the stripe that you can see running over the top, and the exclusive wheels that it wears for the AMR version as well. And of course, around the front, you have these Zagato inspired fog lights down at the bottom sides of that very large gaping front grille for the mouth. It's quite a nice car, I actually do quite like them. Rapide AMR. The last time I was out and about, this was in the background of one of the clips, and a few of you guys spotted it, the E46 M3 from BMW. This time at least, it's featured properly, as I think it deserves. It's one of the best drivers BMWs that they've ever made, really. Oh look, new Aston Vantage. Cruising on through here, where I am outside of the McLaren London showroom. We're inside. What do we have inside here? We have a 600LT Spider in yellow on the turntable at the front. Behind, oh, there's a Senna behind. We do have a Senna back there. There's a 720 on the left. What else do we have? A few more, I think 720s behind as well. Kind of hard to see back, but we've got a few McLarens, 600LT Spider, and obviously the Senna, instantly recognisable from its gigantic rear wing, sitting right behind inside the showroom at the moment. So yeah, the window shopping today is not exactly going badly, is it? Nice little lineup here at McLaren London. What would this exploration be then without a visit to Lamborghini London? Now inside, not the most colourful lineup of Lamborghinis I have ever seen, but let me show you what we do have inside the showroom as we are walking by here. Firstly, we have an Aventador SVJ Coupe in black. Then over to the other side, we have an Urus at the very back, the white Hurricane Evo Coupe, and then over here, if I just come around towards the other windows, we have the SVJ Roadster. Of course, you can just about make out, or maybe you can't with the reflections because of quite how bright it is today, but the Roadster roof, the Targa piece roof that you can stow away inside the front of the car. Obviously the SVJ, Lamborghini's hardcore version of the Aventador, super veloce Yota, 6.5 litre V12, 770 horsepower, that gigantic wing at the back, aerodynamica Lamborghini Attiva, their aerodynamic system that works through it. Obviously the big supercar in the lineup, the Hurricane behind being the baby V10 model, the 5.2 litre, 640 horsepower in that, as found in the Performante, the previous kind of hardcore version of round one of the Hurricane, Evo being the update, the facelift, and then the SUV at the back, not that you can see it at all, Urus. Very, very popular. In fact, even just before this clip, I've seen a few Lamborghini Uruses driving around, obviously off camera, but because they kind of sneak up on you, they're quite quiet until they've gone past. But I was expecting, you know, some Verde Ithaca or some Giallos or Arancios or some bright colours. Alas, just two black SVJs, the white Evo, Hurricane, and the Urus. Right, let's go check out Ferrari. A nice Morgan cruising through. That's quite unusual. Very nice. Roof down, perfect weather for it. And immediately after, we have the Grand Cabrio as well. On the move. That is a very nice spot while walking past a Ferrari F12berlinetta, the successor to the 599 GTB, predecessor to the 812 Superfast, of course 6.3 litre, naturally aspirated V12, decently over 700 horsepower. And I actually think these things are starting to get prettier and prettier the more time that goes past. Ferrari Super GTs, 2-seat, but obviously with the mid-front mounted V12, glorious soundtrack as well. And over on the other side of the road, we actually have an R8, Audi R8 V8. One of the earlier generations, still looking pretty good though. Such a game-changing car when Audi introduced the R8. I have made my way to the main Ferrari dealership where I'm going to save the very best until last. Probably the best car we're going to see today, but by coincidence, before we go through the cars in the showroom, just outside we have an Aventador S Coupe. The Lamborghini parked on the street outside the Ferrari dealer. The S, of course, is the base facelift updated version from the standard Lamborghini Aventador, so the main model, if you could say, not one of the limiteds like the SVJ, for example. But I think those are going to turn out to be quite rare. I think most people seem to go for some of the special editions as opposed to the regular vanilla car, if we could call it that. Then here in the Ferrari showroom we have a 488 GTB, which rather unfortunately does have that lopsided number plate, but of course nobody's been here for the last couple of weeks. We've then got a GTC4 Lusso. Is that a V12 or a V8? It's got the V12 wheels, but quite hard to tell unless you go and have a proper look. We've got a trio of 812 Superfasts. Giallo, the first one I drove was a yellow 812. I really think it suits the car very well. Then we've got the Nero, all black. Something's coming. Oh look, another Ferrari is coming past. We've got a California. Roof down, right with the red interior. Perfect timing. So we've got the Nero, all black, black wheels, black paintwork. This is lovely, the dark red. Suits it, I think, perfectly. Not my choice of wheels though on this one. I prefer the more multi-spoke wheels that you have on the black car. But then, I think probably fair to say, the standout car for today, the LaFerrari, a yellow LaFerrari, the hybrid hypercar, just chilling here. Oh. Okay. Noisy. Yeah, just chilling here, parked up. Amazing. I think these look really nice. You know, the more I've been able to spend time around the LaFerrari, the more I've truly fallen for them. They're very, very special. Obviously only 499 of the coupes, of which this is one, as opposed to the additional 200 or just over 200 they made of the Apertas. But obviously the hybrid setup, 6.3 V12 plus hybrid power, 963 horsepower in total, and looking stunning. I don't know if that car is for sale or whether it's just here inside the showroom, but obviously alongside three 812s, the Aventador just up there, the California as well. Yeah, not a bad way to end things, hey? That is awesome. So, let me know what you think. A quick look inside the showrooms here in London. Oh, wow. The interior is blue. Sounds good, of course, as the V12 comes into life. Such a unique and distinct sound that the Aventador makes. I remember when they came out, people were highly concerned for the future of this. But, yes, now I think we've got used to the noise and come to quite like it. I hadn't noticed the interior was blue though. It stands out a mile away. Right, that's departing, heading off. Well, that was quite some last-minute action then. The Aventador S and the California both departing, but today we have seen some pretty cool cars on this walk around London. The likes of the LaFerrari, the Veyron, the Senna, the 720s, the SVJs, the Bentleys, the Aston Martins, and plenty more out and about on the streets as well. So what has been your favourite? Do comment down below. Is it the LaFerrari, the Veyron, is it the Senna, or is it one of the others? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've enjoyed my little walk today around the centre of town, of course, pinpointing out and visiting the Supercar showrooms to show you some of the cars. Of course, they are all closed, so not possible to get up closer as non-essential businesses. In line with the guidelines, they all have to be closed for the time being. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!